Good morning, everybody. It is Keisha, and I wanted to come on and talk about Byron Allen. So, Byron Allen was on the Breakfast Club actually a couple of weeks ago, but it was just really, like the things that he was saying, some of it was great, fantastic information, some of it was really good. But here's what stuck in my claw. So, he told a story about how his mother was 17. She had him when she was 17 days, just over being 17 years old. So she was a teenage mother. He was born, I believe, in 1961. And he's from Detroit. So when the Detroit riots happened, because of Martin Luther King being assassinated, they fled, and they were just, gonna get away, out of the turmoil. So they fled to California. Well, she ended up going to school there, getting her master's degree in cinema entertainment or something like that, asking the right questions, becoming an intern, and really like making a way for herself and her child. So she does all this at the height of Jim Crow, at the height of segregation, in the late 60s, when racism was much more prevalent. They were up north, so it probably was a little bit different, but nonetheless, it was that time. It was that time in history that it was very difficult for Black people. So he goes on to say all of this, how his mother, created this amazing opportunity, which led him to be around all these, to be in these different studios, to see all these rising stars. And then he turns around and says, but for y'all today, they're trying to hold you back. They don't want you to have this, and it's hard for you to get this, and it's hard for you to be economically free, and they don't want you to get a good education. And he even mentioned Eric Garner, and how Eric Garner was, he wasn't afforded, a good education, and that's why he ended up being killed and being on the block instead of owning the block. So he just starts touting out all these reasons and all this they are holding you back, and they. But all the while tying in God, and God is able to do this, and God is able to do that, and we can do, and we can be, and we can, it was such a conflicting message. Like, if I heard this, on one hand, I would be inspired. If I heard this as a person that did not have the mental freedom to know that who God made me and who God made all of us, that would have my mind messed up. To listen to somebody who just bought the Weather Channel, who is a billionaire, a Black man who's a billionaire, to come on and tell me, you can do it, but it's all these people that's trying to hold you back. And he talked about the hard work it took for him to just get a television show off the ground. The hours that he spent, over a year, and, 50,000 no's, and, just beating the pavement to try to get the show off the ground, and finally being successful. To hear all that and be inspired, and then for him to turn around and say, yeah, but they aren't, giving you the education you need, but they aren't doing this, and by they, he means white people. And it just makes me so angry that this man watched his mother, in the height of Jim Crow, in the height of racism, overcome all of those obstacles, to then turn around, become a millionaire, and tell young Black people that we can't accomplish what we're trying to accomplish because they. We have to have accountability in our community. if we want to succeed. I don't care what anybody tells you. Even in his story, yeah, sure, you might run into some racism. He ran into some racism, but then he ran into somebody who said, I see your talent, and gave him a chance. And the same thing can happen to you. You just have to keep on going. You can't, yeah, there are always going to be obstacles. There might be there might be the obstacle of racism, finances, classism, who knows? Everyone has obstacles. I don't care what color you are. You're going to have obstacles. But if you walk into a building, if you walk into a meeting with the mindset that they're not going to help you, or the opportunities are close to you because of your skin color, I guarantee you shoot yourself in the foot and you will not get those opportunities that you deserve. But if you walk into a room knowing whose you are and the God that created the entire universe is for you, you will have what God says you have. And there will be, God can open doors that no man can close and shut doors that no man can open. We have to stop feeling like, and stop letting people put into our minds this mindset that just because your skin is white, you have this power. My God is greater than that. And if you are a believer, you have to know your God is greater than that too. You have to know it from within. So when you walk into a place, you walk with that confidence that you have the God that sits, that created the entire universe. What is it? What is a white person, a racist white person, to a God that created the entire universe? Nothing. There is nothing too hard for God. We have to get out of this mindset that God can do this over here, but he can't do that over there. It is such a self-defeating, and it breaks my heart to know that we have indoctrinated our own self with poison, that we cannot succeed because of racist white people. If you are especially if you are a believer, if you are a believer, you have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that your God, he says, if God be for you, who can be against you? Who? And I do believe that means any white supremacist, any racist person, anybody who is trying to make you feel less than who you really are. You have to know who you are. And it just irks me that somebody like Byron Allen can be so inspiring on one hand, but then feed all this crap about they're not letting you do this and they're not letting you do that. How about telling the truth that, yes, we do need education? How about telling the truth about school vouchers? That we need to vote people in who are going to increase the vouchers, not decrease them. And if anybody doesn't know what a school voucher is, that is letting you attend school wherever you want to, not just in your district, because your school district may be a crappy district, but letting you attend school, letting your parents send you to a school that's outside of your district, letting your dollars follow you. That's what will guarantee you a brighter future. But we vote in these people who feed us this crap, get us all hyped up on racism, but don't have any real solutions for the problems. And we vote them in every year just because they have a D by their name or because they're black. So I just want everybody to know, especially if you are a believer, God has already told you who you are. When you walk into somewhere, you have to know who you are. And there is nothing that no one can do to sabotage God's plan for you. Nothing. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what socioeconomic status they have. I don't care. There is nothing too hard for God. He spoke and things happen. Mountains are erected and a whole entire universe came to life because of the words out of God's mouth. And we want to sit here and walk around like we can't be and do because some people are racist. It is a trick of the enemy to keep you down. It's not white people, it's the enemy. The real warfare is the spiritual battle, keeping your mind thinking that you can't, and then you won't even try. We have to get rid of that. And I pray that this message reaches far and wide, because we need to stop that feeding ourselves poison that we can't do because of somebody else. You can do all things through Christ. I hope you guys are blessed and you have a blessed day, and know that you are a king's kid. You are an heir to the throne of the Most High. And there is nothing that you can't do. In Jesus' name, y'all be blessed. Have a great day.